Hi, it's Eric Ambrosino from Ambersonics LLC. Today we're going to be installing a pickup director in a Paul Reed Smith SE Custom guitar. So here we have a PRS SE Custom, nice brown tan finish with the two humbuckers. And it's about to become really custom because what I've done is added two new control holes. So normally this is your normal switch, which would be there, your master volume and master tone. I added another hole in the center for the pickup director and its board, and then a 3-position mini bank select switch. So it's got 3 positions, 1, 2, 3. That's your multiplier times 3, gives you 9 accessible locations to grab up to 50 sounds from the menu pot from here. This holds 50 sounds and you can audition them when you pull it up in the air. So taking a look at the back of this PRS guitar in the control cavity, there's your normal switch here that would be used for switching the pickups, but instead now it's just going to have a little piece of ribbon cable connected to it that goes to the pickup director board that allows you to do the switching smartly, more intelligently. This is the pickup director board, and it's held together with a Bourne's pot and screw terminal. In this case, I'm adding a push-pull pot for an extra feature that allows you to have a pickup director override. So you can pull the pot up and it will be an instant hot treble pickup, your humbucker pickup, with master volume and master tone. No batteries required, so you don't have to worry about a battery there, because you can run 100% passive with at least the humbucking pickup in the treble position, which is kind of cool. And I'm getting 300 hours, pretty close to 300 hours on the battery, so it's a very low consumption device, this board here. Again, this is kind of what it looks like, not in the guitar. And there's the push-pull pot by Bourne's. And there's the Bluetooth, and there's a wire terminal. Yeah, I'll tell you, nothing beats a good solder connection. You can use these solderless, wire screw lugs, but sometimes they're more of a pain in the neck than they are anything. Trying to get the wires to get in there, and then you really should tin the wires before you put them in there so that they're not scraggly and touching one another. Like I say, for me, sometimes I'll just solder it to the back of these where the pins are coming out, protruding. I just solder the wires there, and I have very good luck with that. Soldering's not that hard to learn. Take some YouTube videos and check it out. Okay, so getting back to the pickup director, we've got the guitar stripped out here. We've got the neck wire, and we've got the bridge wire, and then we've got some 3 or 4 wires that are kind of somewhat shielded quality that were in the guitar that I'll probably reuse. There's the new hole for the pickup director, and then there's a little mini 3-position switch right here. That's the bank multiplier, so it multiplies these 3 positions times these 3 to give you 9 random locations. When you pull the pot up in the menu mode, you've got 50 to choose from, and when you push the pot down, it stores them to the positions of these 2 switches. So that's how you can program any sounds you want really very easily. And then don't forget, the pickup composer shows you what the wires are being, how it's being wired. The pickup composer is a free app for iOS and Android. So you can see that on Google Play for the latter, Android, and the iOS, the Apple Store for the iOS version. Okay, so here we are. One of the first things I like to do, whether it's working on one of my own guitars or a client's guitar, is to put a little 30-day painter's tape on the guitar area where you're working. Make a nice little area where you can lay wires and whatnot without worrying about scratching the finish. Also keep a clean bench with very few tools and whatnot. Make sure all the little cut wires or stuff are put off to the far side. You don't want to have any nuts or bolts or cut pieces of wire on the face of the guitar underneath it when you move the guitar, and put a nice scratch in the guitar. So just remember, you're working on a musical instrument. So here we have the pickup director, and what I usually do is I just use the existing output jack. I just brought it out here for simplicity. We're going to plug that into an amp, and that comes off of the wiper of the master volume control. That's on the center lug. And then on the top lug, what feeds it, what would normally be this red wire used to go to here, to the 3-position switch. But all those wires are taken off now and cleaned it all up. And notice how I've tied it to the output of the pickup director, because now the pickup director is now your switch, is now the new main switch. And right there you can see that it's hooked up to GG, which is guitar ground. And then the white wire coming from that red shielded cable goes to MO, matrix out. That's the switch matrix output of this smart switch. So that's coming from that's feeding the output from here, from the pickup director, to the top side of the potentiometer, and then the wiper is going to feed the guitar amplifier. And then this green wire here is used for tone. We'll wire that in later. So now let's talk about the actual guitar pickups. I've identified the neck guitar pickup is right here, the pain in the neck, right here. The neck pickup right there, and then this is the bridge. So always start with the bridge pickup. And why? Because you have a nice hint. Typically, if you're retrofitting a guitar with a 4-wire humbucker, 2 wires will be tied together and tied to ground. And in this case, the bridge pickup, as you can see, it's got a green wire and a bare shield. That's the shield. So these two are tied together and brought into ground. So that's our starting point. We're going to take that shield and that ground connection, and we're going to tie them in through this terminal strip. Starting from the far left, SA, shield A, that's for your first pickup. And then the A minus is the negative of that pickup, which is the green wire. And then with a simple ohm meter to find out which ones are for each individual pickup, usually like 2 wires will be soldered together. In this case, it was the red and the black. But I don't know what's the other terminal from this guy. So I'm going to just simply take my ohm meter, and I'm going to tie that into ground on the bridge pickup. And then I'm just going to look for ohms, like on a 20K scale. You know, it's not going to be the white, because that's the other pair. It's going to be either the red or the black. So let's take a look at the black. And no, it's showing that it's blinking. It's not, there's no conductivity there. Let's go to the red. And that's showing, ooh, it's pretty good. That's one of the coils. If you coil tapped it, you'd be seeing about 9K, 8K. So that's the one. So basically the red wire here goes with the shield and green. So that's what we're going to do there. So when we tie that in to the terminal strip, it will be the shield on A minus is the green wire, and A plus is the red wire. Then we're going to take the black wire, and that's going to start on B minus, and then finally the output wire, B plus, will be the white wire. So we're going to tie those in as such, and we'll do a sound check as we go. Make sure we're good. Let's do that. Now, as you can see, we have the humbucking pickup in the treble position closest to the bridge, wired in, what we said. The shield is SA, the green is A minus, the red is A plus, and then the black is B minus, and the white is A plus. How do we know that? Simply flip it over, and you can see that that's what the labeling is set up for. So there we have the shield going to the shield A, and then we have the A minus and plus, and the B minus and plus. So now for the next humbucker, we have shield B. We will start with shield B goes there. And then the hardest thing about this is making sure the phasing is correct. Unfortunately, because humbucking pickups, they don't use any wire standards for color codes at all. There's, green, red, blue, white, green, yellow, red, white, blue. The pickup companies don't follow any standard for coloring. So depending if it's south wound or north wound, when you go to try to hook the neck pickup up to the treble pickup will always sound good, but then sometimes you'll find that the neck pickup sounds out of phase or kind of thin or kind of weak, and that's when you have to kind of reverse the phase of the C minus and C plus, and then the D minus and D plus. So that's why it's good to use the terminal strip that I've got here, for a little bit of experimentation. If you know how the pickup is wound north-south, then you have no issues. But because the pickup colors are never consistent, and these are a pair of PRS pickups I got through Reverb, and they actually they do say PRS pickups on them. The original pickups in here were only 2 wires, shield and the hot output. So no, you need to have 4-wire humbucking. So that's why I switched out the pickups to Paul Reed Smith 4-wire humbuckers. And there's our treble connector. Let's do a sound check. I've got this plugged in to my amp, and I do this a lot. So I've got this kind of a 9-volt battery thing with a couple of clip leads tied to it. Simply looks like that. So we're going to take this battery and just clip it temporarily into the pickup director. And for that, I got to put this down. So on the pickup director, it's labeled signal ground on the silkscreen side. And so you got to take the brown wire, the negative of the battery, and put it into signal ground, SG. And then the red positive goes to something called 9B, 9-volt battery. So that turns on the pickup director directly. Normally that's going to go through the ring to turn it on when you plug it in. But we turn up the amp. I just turned on the standby. Make sure the master volume control on the guitar is full up. And then turn this fully counterclockwise. It probably won't have any sound at all until you rotate it once. There it is. That's because it's still looking for the bridge pickup. So the way the menu is set up on this, fully counterclockwise starts off with the humbucking pickup in the neck, which we haven't gotten wired in yet. Then as you rotate it, it's both of them, and then the treble pickup alone, and then starts doing all the various coils on the guitar. So a little instant gratification. You'll hear skipping, that there's no sounds there yet because the other pickup's not wired in yet, but we're on the right track. So just give ourselves a quick sound check, and that's kind of where we're at. Okay, now we'll do the neck pickup next. Okay, PRS guitar here. We wired in the neck pickup, and let's take a look at that. So now we've wired in the neck pickup, and we do have a clue for that as well. When you see the neck pickup, when you're retrofitting the guitar with a neck pickup, again, the shield wire or the drain wire on the shielded cable will be connected to what they want as ground. In this case, it was the red wire. So see, it's completely backwards. I took that as a hint, and I don't know if you can see that really well there. I put some clear shrink tubing on the shield. Okay, so it goes shield B, and then we have red, green, white, and black. And of course, we talked about earlier, this red shielded cable with the ground and the white are going directly to the potentiometer top side. And then the center of the wiper is going out through that gray wire to the guitar cable. Let's do a sound check. Now we'll turn it on. Fully counterclockwise, now is the neck pickup wired in. Both the treble and then all the in-betweens. Now there should be no empty spots. All the way up to 50 sounds. Counterclockwise is the neck. Now, a real handy test for this is to just download the free pickup composer and pair it to the guitar, and then it'll find it's a humbucker, or if it's a hum single, it'll find out. It knows if it's a 3 single coil, it automatically come up, and then you click on the composer tab, and then you can, as you rotate this knob, you will see the different combinations of pickups being turned on or turned off in the right order. So that's how that is the toughest part of it. Now, the only other thing you have to do is remember to wire this, the hot of the battery goes into B, the 9B, 9 volt for battery. And then the ground goes to the ring of a tip ring sleeve connector, common in the arts. It looks like that. And then the ring makes the connection for the guitar. Also, tie the ring to something called on the pickup director 9R, 9 ring. So if you want to phantom power the guitar or remotely power it with no battery in the guitar, you can do so with a tip ring sleeve cable, and the pickup director will know whether or not it's running from the battery or if it's running from a tip ring sleeve cable. And then finally, you have to tie in 3 wires from the main guitar pickup control to the terminals associated, what's in the directions, and then the 3-wire bank select switch comes already wired, ready to go, and you tie this in on the pickup director on these cables called B1, B common, B1, and B2. You'll see that in the directions. Again, we talked about the directions for this particular guitar. And that's it. And now you've got 50 different sounds. When you have the push-pull pot, pot is up, you get to menu select and audition all these sounds in real time. They're all analog wirings of the guitar. When you push the pot, push pot, pull down, it stores it to the position of the 3-position bank select switch and the 5-position blade, or in this case, the 3 pickup selector on a Paul Reed Smith. All right. Now, a little bit more to come. We're almost finishing up. Also, I've got a handy dandy way of having the battery fit into a Paul Reed Smith guitar using this, the back plate of it. And I've got the dimensions written in there. I'll have something you can download on the website that will allow you to show how you can then just take this whole thing. When it's all said and done, the battery goes right in there and fits nicely. Makes it an easy change out for the battery, about 300 hours on a 9-volt battery. And if the battery is still in the guitar and you're not sure how good it is, just use my tip ring sleeve, which will be available in about 1 month, to remotely power the guitar using a tip ring sleeve cable. And that's 2 ways of powering the guitar. You don't even have to have a battery in the guitar if you're always going to use a tip ring sleeve cable. But the pickup director knows the difference. So it knows if it's battery powered, it's fine. If it sees the tip ring sleeve power coming in, then it feeds off of that. Remember the tone control with the green wire? Well, that's tied in. That's tied in now with the wiper going to the capacitor to ground. So that's just a standard tone setup that you'd have there. But what I did with the push-pull pot switch here is a little shenanigan where if there's no battery in the guitar can still work passively with just the treble pickup, the bridge pickup with master volume and tone. So no batteries. That little circuit in the middle there allows you to do that. So I'm just taking the output of the pickup director and switching it in or out of the circuit going to the tip. So if you see the tip there, the tip goes to the wiper of the push-pull pot in the up position. When I pull the pot up, pull up to override the pickup director in passive mode. And there's no battery, and it will run like that. Once I push the tone pot down, then it's looking for the pickup director powered either by tip ring sleeve power or with the battery on board. No audio is going through this wire. And notice where I always use shielded wire, but if I can't, I'll twist the wires, twist them as much as possible to keep the noise down. All the wiring is now complete. Don't forget now to turn the guitar upside down and shake out any fob, any kind of wires or trimming in there. You don't want that rattling around. And now we're going to put the cover on, and oh, this is a cool battery setup I got. It fits right on the back plate of the Paul Reed Smith guitar, and it fits right in nicely with the battery. So when I have a battery set up, it'll fit right in there, and your battery can be easily changed. And so here's the completed product, okay? The pickup director is installed. We have master volume and tone. And then we have our standard 3 selector switch. Neck pickup. Both pickups. Treble. And then of course we got this little multiplier, so in the treble position we got 3 more single coils. Let's go into the center. And then the neck, standard neck, single coil, another single coil. And then if there's no battery, you can go right from like no battery to pop this out, and now it's just bypassing the pickup director, and it's using the treble pickup, the bridge pickup, as a master volume and tone. And then back to the neck pickup. To hear the difference between a pickup director and wires, just like basically the wiring, in the treble position, right here's the pickup director. And now I pull this up, this bypasses it, so it's just basically wiring it. It's bypassing the pickup director right to the treble pickup. No difference. You can hear that the sound is very transparent with the pickup director. So here it is passive. And then with the pickup director. The only difference is no battery. That's passive. Now pickup director. And of course, when the pickup director is engaged, you can pop this up, the menu switch, and now you've got 50 different pickup selections. So it's easy to remember the very first, if you turn this counterclockwise, the very first three positions is your standard neck. So all the way back is the neck. And then both pickups. And then your treble pickup. So no matter what you do with this, configuring these switches, you can always find your way back by going for the first 3 locations, push it down, and that's where the standard sounds come from. Or of course use pickup director to reload the defaults. Let's hear some more of them. I'm rotating it ever so slightly because there's all 50 of them. Some cool sounds, really cool sounds. So you can take 50 of these sounds from the menu pot, and by pushing it down, you can store those sounds directly to these 9 locations. I think it's pretty amazing. And it got a nice tone roll off. And the best part, it's just a single 9-volt battery attached to the back plate. Fits right in there nice and flush. Need 4-wire humbuckers. These are the Paul Reed Smith SE imported 4-wire humbuckers. Did a little clean job on the frets. I put on some String Joy. I use these String Joy pickups. They're .0095 strings rather. Got pickups on the mine. .0095 String Joy. They're pretty good. Put them on there, and I pulled them and stretched them. They stretched once, and now they stay right in tune.